Hi, my name's Dan Fido and I'm fully focused.
So Dan Fido from Warrington, 27. Pretty much born and raised here, spent all my life in Warrington. And I've spent a lot of time in the music industry in Warrington as well. Kind of got into it through my dad, who was he's born down south in a place called Stevenage, but he was proper into music as well. And he kind of taught me to play the guitar, and when he moved up to Warrington, he was in bands in the area as well. And that's where it all kind of started for me with the music, was from his influence and watching him doing the bands and things like that as well. So it was mad kind of watching him go out to gigs when I was little and things like that, and go and play in bands in some of the same places that I played in this area as well. My dad did try and sort of teach me guitar when I was in high school, and at that time I was more interested in like playing football than guitar, and I'd rather listen to the music than play it, if you know what I mean. And so it took a few years for me to kind of, firstly to realise that I wasn't that good at football, but secondly just to get back into it and really start playing guitar. So it was probably when I was about 14 or 15 I started properly getting into playing guitar, and I just taught myself. I had lessons and they just tried to teach me stuff like the Beatles, which I just wasn't really interested in. So I decided to teach myself songs that I liked, that I heard on the radio or on the TV and stuff, and then from that just wrote my own, and that's how it all kind of started for me really. So Target Renegades, as we are now, we were Hellbound Rebels before that, but we hated the name so we changed it. But yeah, me and Jack, the bassist, actually went to school together. We played together for quite a long time. Our first band that we did together was actually called Abyss, and I was the singer, not very well. But I just didn't really like singing either. I just wanted to be on my guitar, and that's why I brought Adam in. So Adam is our singer, and he's really, really good, and he's just a brilliant frontman as well. So he's that kind of guy that you want, where he's really entertaining. He'll get off the stage, he'll interact with the crowd, and he just doesn't care. Once he's on that stage, he's a different person. He switches, you know what I mean? And so from that, us three particularly, we've had a few different drummers. Our current drummer, Matt, is amazing. He's just technically fantastic, and rock music in particular, or any genre really, image is really important. You see it a lot with rap as well, where image is really, really important for those rappers. And it is the same for us. So we tried different things. So we had things where we did photo shoots where we dressed up as zombies, and we used to perform gigs dressed like that as sort of a bit of a gimmick and an image. And it's kind of quick how you learn about what other people are doing around you and what are the right things to do, and it kind of took a lot of accepting the wrong gigs and accepting the right gigs and weighing up who you worked with in terms of local, which promoters you worked with, who was putting on the best gigs, what venues were best to play and things like that. So that really gave us a good knowledge of the industry that we were in and the scene that we were in the Northwest. So it really taught us about that and just enabled us to move on to the next stage. And so what I wanted to do with Middle Finger Records, which is the name of the label that I've started, is basically capture the bands that are being expressive, and that's where we're going as a band. But I want to expand on those horizons really. It's not going to be a national thing, it's more like a local thing, and that's how all of these things start, is local scenes. And I think it's really important that, particularly in this area as well, because people that are dealing with problems in their daily life, but it's got a purpose. And you see a lot in grime music. It doesn't have to be genre specific either. I'm not saying it's necessarily going to be focusing all on rock music or anything like that. So you see a lot of grime music, like acts like Stormzy coming through, who's just done a really, really good album. And when you listen to what he's saying, you can relate to it because that's his life. And that's what I think is kind of missing from quite a lot of mainstream music at the moment, is sort of just that purpose and that expression of and relatability to sort of that music. And that's what I kind of want to push locally, is try and help those bands that are doing that a little bit more. So for me, in the short term, Middle Finger Records is going to be a steep learning curve, because this is something, it's sort of uncharted territory for me. It's not something that I've done before, although I've got experience of the scene and the industry locally and stuff. it's not something that I've done before in terms of starting a record label. So I am going to be releasing some music probably at the end of 2017 via the label, possibly of our own, just to start off with, so that I can sort of gauge the right ways to do things and the wrong ways to do things, because there is a lot of trial and error involved. As much research as you do, that is the case sometimes. Following that, I think it's sort of going to be a case of me going to local gigs and scoping out local bands that I think really do have sort of the potential. It's to really drive a passion of mine, and that's what I really want to sort of hammer home. So it's about working with the right bands, and just a few bands, maybe like 3 or 4 bands, not going mad, just the 3 or 4 bands that I can concentrate my time on, and those that I can invest in, that I really believe in, and that tie in with the ethos of the label as well.